I'm the militia captain here. Are you here because you're in trouble or looking for it? There is often opportunity in challenges if you know how to look for it. We might have something for you. But first, you got any other reason for coming to militia headquarters? There are better places to explore and better people to know. I'm sure you have your reasons, though. I'm sure you got questions of your own. And if you're interested, I might have some work for you. You want something? I've seen a lot of visitors come through Kunda. You're the first one in a while that looks the capable sort. We have a small problem with Kinrath. Maybe you've already seen some of them. They're coming from a cave in the Kunda Plains. I'd take care of it myself, but there aren't many people in the militia. We'd lose too many men. There's a reward if you do it. 2,000 credits. I agree with you, but I don't barter. I got more important things to do. That's all I can ask. You want something? Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. It's the most valuable all the salvagers ever got. But all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so some salvager comes claiming they're owed by such and such, or that they're related. The whole thing makes me sick. Garrovick says he won the whole claim in a Pazak game with the last survivor, right before he killed him. But that was a fair fight. There were witnesses, but nobody remembers Garrovick ever playing Pazak. I just hope someone takes this blasted claim off my hands. I'm tired of those lowlives pestering me. We've got real work to do. You want something? You really should talk to Baroon about general questions. I don't have anything to say about that. It's our home. Might be the start of an honest capital someday. Right now, it's not much more than a swoop bike stop. She's smart. She gets things done. The whole place would fall apart without her. Dantooine isn't the center of much anything. Our most talented people sometimes leave. Hard for someone to stay a farmer when they have the itch to do something greater. So we're lucky the administrator never went elsewhere. Bet she'd make a decent senator even. There aren't more than a dozen of us, and there's too many problems. People keep hoping that the Republic sends help. We gotta help ourselves.
A visitor. Please, come in. Welcome to Kunda. I am Administrator Turina Adari. You're the owner of the, ship that just landed? And unless I'm much mistaken, that's the Ebon Hawk. That vessel has been on Dantooine before, during the war. That was a Jedi vessel. Of course not. I'm trying to stabilize an entire planet. An exchange bounty, no matter how abundant, is little use in that endeavor. But if a Jedi were here, that would best be kept secret. Right or wrong, our settlers blame the Jedi and their hidden enclave for their suffering. I remember the old Jedi Masters and the considerable help they lent to Dantooine. I still maintain discreet connections with Jedi. I suppose your arrival here is no coincidence. Indeed, true coincidence seems very rare in the affairs of Jedi. But I should tell you, I feel I must step carefully here. You are not like other Jedi I have known. You seem darker somehow. Yes, I understand. Say no more. For good or ill, I feel you are the only one remaining who can help me with the present situation, my friend. Let's just call him Vrook. We've known each other for many years, and our continued friendship could create many problems in the current political climate. He came to Dantooine not too long ago. He was looking into something quite important. He's gone missing recently. Did he send for you in case something went wrong? We need the skills of a Jedi more than ever. He was helping investigate Azbul and his mercenaries, but he had his own errand to run in the Enclave. Jedi business of some sort. He went into the sublevel, which isn't without its dangers. He hasn't returned. I'm starting to fear the worst. Would you be willing to go to the ruins of the Enclave to look for him? We are fortunate that you've come. Don't expect it to be easy, though. Things rarely are with Jedi. I will have one of the militia transmit permissions to the Enclave's security door. Go expecting danger, for you will most certainly find it there. Is there anything else I can assist you? He was investigating the mercenaries for us. We've been increasingly concerned about them. Their behavior has always been antagonistic, but recently they've been behaving differently. Vrook was investigating this when he disappeared. We were counting on any hard intelligence he could provide. Our other assets have been unavailable recently. If you find any information on the mercenaries during your stay on our planet, please report it to Zeron or myself. I believe I've told you everything I can. Please find and rescue Vrook. There are plenty of opportunities to assist people on Dantooine. Too many, I'm afraid. I would go to the militia headquarters and make your intentions known there. Besides that, just listen and ask around. I have no doubt that Baroon means well, but I have every confidence in Zeron. I would ask you to ignore anything Baroon asked of you. He doesn't see the full scope. To most people in the galaxy, the distinction between Sith and Jedi is a blurry one, especially since most Sith were once Jedi. It is complicated by the fact that Malak and Revan were great heroes of the Republic and famed Jedi Knights. But a few years later, they were leading an armada which threatened everyone. And here on Dantooine, the Jedi Enclave provoked a brutal occupation by the Sith. It could have been far worse, but even now the damage has not been fully mended. I don't think everyone hates Jedi. If just a few people changed their minds or spoke up, it could make a great deal of difference. I think that we need the help of the Jedi. If the Jedi's reputation isn't redeemed, the consequences could be quite regrettable. Until then, I would keep your identity secret.
Another interruption. You must not have heard who I am.
The honor is mine. A weakness is revealed. Thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you.
Echoes. The echoes of the Force.
Force-sensitive locations such as this absorb and reflect Force energy. The crystals are the catalyst here. I sense that Revan once passed through here, leaving a strong impression behind in the crystals. Perhaps future Jedi who visit this cave will feel our presence, as if seeing our footprints preserved in the soil. That can hardly be avoided. Even mundane actions of the basest creatures can create detectable ripples in the Force. A Minoc beating its wings on the plains could cause a sandstorm in the desert, and figuratively speaking, Jedi have much bigger wings. That would create quite a large impression of yourself, and the crystals would eventually grow back. The crystals here do not drain Force energy from Jedi. They collect the excess energy that radiates from those attuned to the Force. The crystals here are infused with the Force. Some could be harvested and used for lightsabers. Revealed.
revealed. I shall... Soon.
Crystal responds to you. This is very rare indeed. The crystal's bond with you is such that the stronger you become in the Force, the more powerful your crystal will grow. This crystal will make an excellent focus for a lightsaber. Quite the contrary. Picture yourself as a sieve, and the Force as water pouring into you. This crystal draws from the excess water that escapes the sieve. The crystal is in tune with you. It will use whatever water that pours through you, be it dark or light.
Tapak mito, hai best niksa tochima. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani. Krempawi cho simorangta weba gonorimbo. Harandoto. Kavanatagalu. Kavanatagalu. Charika yayakta min sobachina ninga ba. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata waka. Bram tabanin sojo. The con Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chilu.
sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be out here anyway. This is Kinrath territory. A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the Western Fringe farmers was coming to Coon on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try to figure out if that's what really happened. I do. The Kinrath are dangerous. But as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch you. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe our man just got sloppy. We really need those atmospheric sensors. I don't suppose you'd be willing to keep an eye out for something, It's technical. I doubt you'd understand it. But I'd really appreciate your help. I doubt you'll be able to find any evidence of what happened here. But you might come across the atmospheric sensors. They have to be somewhere. If you find any of them, just come back here. I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one you can find, even if they're broken. No idea whatsoever. I figure it's a real long shot you'd ever spot one. But I also figure it wouldn't hurt to ask.
You've wandered into the wrong camp. You got the look of a warrior, and we got all the blasters we need. If you're looking for work too, just take a trip spaceward. We don't need any more competition. Got it? I know about the thief. The amount of noise the settlers have made over that thief, you'd think he stole their whole planet. Before you ask, I have no idea who the thief is. It's not one of us. If we wanted something that bad, we'd just take it. What if we do? They're practically begging to be pushed around. You've seen them, right? They're weak. You're really not so bad, you know? They make our life difficult. They need to learn respect for those with superior strength. Most of us are veterans of the Jedi Civil War. Some even fought in the Mandalorian Wars. A lot of soldiers have been looking for a place in the galaxy. The really skilled usually wind up here. We had a contract with the Republic, doing some work in the Outer Rim, but they scaled back, and we were some of the casualties. Now the Republic isn't hiring anymore. I hear they have no credits. We find ways to divert ourselves. A lot of us find odd jobs. There are many more mercs around than what you see on Dantooine. We're spread out. A sentient by the name of Asgul. He was an elite trooper for Malak during the Jedi Civil War. He knows how to wage war. I have time to kill. It's just another spaceport to me. We've been here too long for my tastes. And the settlers... We have to live somewhere. Something those settlers don't seem to understand. That flaming administrator and her cat-hound Zeron can't keep their noses out of our business. There's a natural order to things that they just don't seem to get. They'll learn. Just make sure these settlers know their place. The Republic isn't going to send a single trainee to help this planet. It galls me to think we fought wars to protect Gizka like them. They don't do anything to help themselves, and they don't know how to take responsibility. They're on their own, and either they should start working and stop whining, or else they're in for a tough ride. She's got spirit, but she seems to focus most of her effort on trying to get us off this planet. Terena has to learn that we aren't moving.
I'm not paid to talk to you. Move along.
Smells like another salvager's come to our camp. Vacate, Mudlicker. Don't make me tell you again.
Ease off, Nalick. There's better sport than this one.
I don't need help to take out a Mudlicker. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You fighting any wars? I fought in the Jedi Civil War. I guess you don't look like much of a salvager. Sides don't matter much. We're all soldiers. Most of us mercenaries work with the Sith. Not too many Republic soldiers survive the war. I thought you were one of those useless salvagers. Or perhaps an uppity settler. I've had about enough of their attitude. So I figured blasting one of them would have done me some good. It's been a while since we've had work. You were a soldier too, so you know I'm not gonna answer you. I want to answer your question. I don't know for sure. I hear rumors. I heard we got a secret job working with some powerful organization. No one tells me who. I know we're planning an attack soon, but I don't know against who. They aren't too far though, because we're expecting to attack soon. I told you what I know. Someone rich and powerful. We're not gonna have to hit up settlers for food and supplies anymore. I don't feel so well. I feel dizzy. I gotta go now.
Can I help you? Just trying to make a living. At least there's still people in the galaxy who know our value. It's not glamorous work, but a man has to eat, right?
I shall make this one see.
visitor comes to our delightful salvager camp. We are honored. Do you come bringing your credits and curiosity? A civilized person with manners. Very rare in this part of the galaxy. I am most honored to meet you. If I may, a question I pose to you, traveler. Do you wish to buy one of the most elusive Jedi artifacts? Powerful Jedi holocron. Shrewd question from a discerning mind. My price will be very low. You can sell it for thousands. I ask a mere 1,000 credits for this rare find. This is not a matter of negotiation. You should buy it quickly before others come. I assure you it isn't. I will show it to you presently. As you can see, it is in fine shape. A real bargain at a mere 1,000 credits. How did you know? I never unload this accursed thing. This isn't my fault. You can't blame me. This forgery has passed through several hands in this camp. I am merely the latest victim. I wish to abandon this dumb heap. Now, of course, not another salvager sold it to me. He bought it from another one before him. When there were more salvagers, incidents like this would come. But now there are a few of us and I'm stuck with this garbage. There's no way I can make it home to my family and children. You with all your observations. I'm not going to talk to you about the holocron anymore. So, what should we talk about? You should talk to Durala. I've told her everything I know. I think I saw the thief by the ruins of the Enclave. I believe that the thief has to be living in the sub-level, because every place else has been visited many times by the salvagers. I didn't get a clear look at the thief. It was dark, and the ruins provide many hiding places. There isn't much to see around here. The planet is very lightly populated by settlers, mercenaries, and us. They want nothing to do with us. The only thing they want is part of our profits. Now that salvaging is running out, I doubt they will tolerate our presence much longer. I don't know nor care. They're trouble. Unfortunately, they ignore us. When they're looking for work, they mainly bother the settlers. We come from many different planets, drawn to the rumors of fortune. I believe the early salvagers did make some credits, but latecomers like myself barely find anything. Early salvagers said that the ruins were mostly empty to begin with. Many think that the administrator didn't allow us to salvage until her people were done with it.
You a new salvager? Or one of those Kunda cantina rats coming here to complain? Oh, is that so? You're no mercenary, and with those armaments, this isn't a social call. You're at least thinking of heading to the ruins. I'm gonna give you some advice. Turn back. There's nothing you're gonna find. Don't tell me that flaming Solru sent you. I went over all this with Zeron. We've been hit by the flaming thief more than he has. Every other night it seems we find something missing. And it's not like we have much. We keep asking Zeron to help us, but he sends us nobody. So the thief keeps coming from the ruins or whatever hole he lives in and taking what's ours. If we ever catch him, we'll take our time killing him. That's our best guess. Sneaky as sin, but Raylan caught a glance of him that way. We keep hoping the Legrex finish the thief off, but that would be far too easy for us. If you haven't met Raylan, though, he's not reliable. He's in the camp if you want to talk to him about the thief. If you must. If you can do something about the thief, do it and get out of here. There's nothing for you here anyway. Because anything valuable in the ruins was carted away months ago. The only salvagers left are either desperate, ornery, or not right in the head. And while you look dirty enough to be here, I don't think you're any of those things. So go back to Kunda. The only thing left is the sub-level, and that's crawling with Legrex. And those things are smarter than half the salvagers here. Though that don't take much. And don't be asking any pesky questions. You're new, and no one is gonna help you out. Because there isn't enough salvage to share with the people already here. And a hungry newcomer is about as welcome as a diuretic hut. I've been here the longest, and I'll be here last. I buy Jedi salvage from the ruins. Slow business now, but I get by. Sometimes I sell them to visitors like yourself. Besides, that's none of your flaming business. You should have let me know you're a customer instead of letting me think you're some disease-ridden salvager. Let me show you what I've got.
Do you feel it? The wound on this world, it is centered here. If we succeed in gathering to this place, and if those Jedi are slain, then all that remains of the Order shall be drawn here as well. Perhaps, in the shadows of the galaxy, we will know when the time comes. And I hope our enemies do not.
Acknowledgement. Diagnostic? For some reason, I cannot fire. Obvious statement. This was not anticipated. I am attempting to access my weapon systems, and I cannot. Alarmed embarrassment. If this gets back to the other units, we will be decommissioned. Failing, Master. Statement. Observation. No answer. And yes, ready to serve. Observation. You are indeed cruel, Master. You might as well ask an organ. If you happen to change your mind, however, just a quick statement. Statement. Answer, Master. Statement. Prompt. Answer. That is why
What is it?
Who are we missing? We're one off.
We're missing Joran. I don't see Joran.
That runt of a cat hound, he's the one with the backpack. Did anybody grab anything from the room? Anybody? What do you want? I managed to get this sad lot of salvagers to work together. Then we get 2 rooms into the sub-level, and we get swarmed by Lagrex. And even then we fight our way out. But of course, the only one that managed to grab the salvage is still in there. I don't even know why I bothered. Are you kidding? Of course we aren't. He's on his own. I only wish he didn't have the salvage on him. Now, if you don't mind, we're going someplace you can't eavesdrop on us, and get down to our business.
I shall make this one see. Soon you shall know pain. My life is yours. You're no match for us. My life is yours.
Yeah. I will silence this one. I will silence this one.
For us. I shall make this one see.
Your arrival is fortunate. I was just running out of food supplies and wondering what Lagrek meat would taste like. I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic, although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist. I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time. What else would you like to know? I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters. The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive the same reconstruction efforts. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the rim. Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. It's almost as if Revan didn't want to attack it. Its resources and position on the rim make it a vital supply line and guard post against outer rim attacks. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Onderon's wildlife is some of the most aggressive in the known galaxy. Merely placing some of those beasts on target worlds will guarantee their habitation for years to come. Dantooine was one of the few Republic worlds on the Outer Rim. It is why the Republic is attempting to get the settlement up and running. Dantooine is within reach of several other Rim worlds, and the Republic will need it as a resupply post if they are to keep a presence on the Rim. What else would you like to know? No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work, something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days. It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies. Not always. Jedi often fall. They cause much harm on Onderon, for example, in the name of peace and protection. Uleg Qel-Droma and Exar Kun, the two Dark Lords during the Sith War many decades ago, were once Jedi Knights, as were Revan and Malak. It is perhaps more amazing that some still trust Jedi after many have fallen and endangered the galaxy. It is also proof that a single Force wielder can change the face of the galaxy. And that is a frightening thing indeed. Hate? No. I do not hate them. They only raise questions without answers. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose in all, and they are supposed to train students responsibly and well, so mistakes of the past are not repeated. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this. Many Jedi defy the Order during the Mandalorian Wars, and it paved the way for the Jedi Civil War. There is no blame. All must accept. But, at its core, one must wonder if it was the failure of the Jedi teachings or the teachers themselves. Many of the Jedi Council trained Exar Kun, Ulik, Revan, and Malak. How could they not see the danger they posed? And if they could not, perhaps there was some essential part of their teachings that was flawed. Something beyond the Jedi Code that they were missing. I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish me to explain? Revan was captured in the middle of the Jedi Civil War, due in no small part to his apprentice Malak, who turned on him. Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. You must understand that the situation was desperate, and the Jedi needed to know how Revan had amassed the forces arrayed against them. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart, but it was only for a time. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. I suspect it was out of revenge. Revan had many masters. Zar, Dorak, Master K before K left for the wars. Towards the end of his training, he sought out many to learn techniques. It is said that he returned to his first master at the end of his training, in order to learn how he might best leave the Order. Before you go, I had a question for you. You came to Dantooine in search of Jedi. Why? What answers do you seek? It has been my experience that Jedi rarely answer such questions, or instead indulge in half-truths. Exiled you? It is strange they would sentence you and not speak honestly of your crime. It is not the Jedi way to lie. Well, no, that is not true. There are times when truth is concealed if they think a greater good can be achieved. But when such things are done, it is always done with the intention that the person they withheld truth from cannot be trusted with that knowledge. that it will bring harm upon themselves and others. Perhaps there was some greater danger in you knowing the reason than in the reason itself. Strange. Mysterious are the ways of the Jedi. Sometimes they see things the rest of us do not. Other times, such sight brings arrogance and a fall. I will return to Kunda now and await the next transport. You may find me there if you have more questions.
Let us You are no match for us.
Soon.
Is someone out there? Anybody? Help! Lagrix are everywhere! Help me! I'm trapped in here! You must be fierce with a blaster, then. Give me a moment. I sort of jammed the door a bit. Just don't leave.
Executed. You have created an echo, something that will travel for some time. You are learning much. Do not mistake my tone. I was not faulting your choice. I will silence this one. I respect it. There are many who never learn such things.
My Legrex! You've killed me! My pets! I'm not a thief! People give to the Jedi in exchange for service. They were just giving. They only attack the bad people. The salvagers, the thieves. This place is for Jedi. They aren't Jedi, they have to leave. I am a Padawan, and one day I will learn enough to be a Jedi. What do you mean? I've always been trained to be a Jedi. You sound like my other master. He's gone too. He said terrible things. I have? I feel like I've done something wrong. But it's so hard to think about. I get so angry. But don't the Jedi say, it's been so long and so much has happened. But doesn't anger lead to the dark side? If I'm the only one, I will do as you say. You seem strong, and you're not afraid. I don't want to be afraid ever again. Thank you. I don't feel confused anymore. I'm going to go now. This Jedi home isn't for me anymore. I hate this planet. I want to see more.
Braved the perils of the sublevel, yes. Many stories and artifacts in your possession. This is fortuitous for myself and Sussex. For now, not only do I get rich salvage, but an even richer bounty. Do not be making this difficult. Your death can be quite painless. So, this is your threat? Is Terra what I'm supposed to feel? We know a thing about Jedi and their ways. And now, Jedi, we shall fight.
Yes.
Jaren knew the risks. He wouldn't do anything different if he was in our situation. Jaren knew the risks. He wouldn't do anything different.
You still lurking around here? Just go back to Kunda. You're not gonna find any Jedi artifacts here. Except the ones I'm selling. Certainly.
Let us end this. A weakness is revealed. Let us end this.
Charanana gundoso remine akelrak.
Halt, settler. This is a restricted area. How the hell did you get through the Kinrath? You should leave. He's a Jedi Master? Well, the bounty is gonna be that much sweeter then. Nar Shaddaa is paying extremely well for Jedi, especially if they're alive. I'm gonna say this nice and simple for your little calf-hurting head. Unless you want to wind up dead, leave now. I'm not in a question-answering mood. You're not supposed to be here. Leave or face the consequences. I warned you, but I'm glad you didn't listen. Attack, men!
Always rushing into action without thinking of the consequences. What? You're expecting thanks? Kunda is in danger, and you've ruined the best chance of averting a full-scale conflict. Though perhaps that was your intent. Don't think that I can't sense the taint of the dark side in you. It is difficult to perceive with the Force here on Dantooine, but it does not conceal your nature completely. I don't know why you think I'd tell you anything. You think I would tell you if I knew? There are enough of us left to stop you, and now that you have finally chosen to reveal yourself, you shall answer for what you have done. You're wasting your time. Anything I tell you will die with you. We were not in hiding, despite what you believe. It is you and all those allied with you that hide and must be found. The Sith strike at us from the shadows, never facing us in open combat. They seek the extermination of the Jedi Order. Somehow they are targeting us through the Force. And where we gather, they can sense it. But now by dividing our forces, we have made you come to us so we can deal with you. I had suspected a Sith presence on Dantooine, but the destruction the Sith caused here made detecting Force users difficult, as you knew. The deaths of so many echo, so much so that it is difficult to center oneself. But it also served to mask my presence, to prevent me from being an easy target, and forcing the Sith, forcing you, to come to me. Because you defied the Council and followed Revan to war, and from that war came another. Do you know how many worlds were destroyed in those wars? Dantooine, Telos, Sirocco. You see now why we counseled caution instead of action? You were the only one to come back and face judgment. But that was because you had lost your connection to the Force. Another casualty of war. No doubt you still blame us for your exile. I had hoped your isolation would give you time to reflect on what had happened, what you had done. But I see it as not. We did nothing to you. Accuse us if you will, but it will not change the truth. Cutting one off from the Force. Such punishments are reserved for only a few. Although it was within our power, we did not inflict such a loss upon you. Your loss was a casualty of war, no more. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel any power in you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. You've seen the end of your trial? Perhaps you would like to explain how you came to this knowledge? That was intended only for the Jedi Council. If what remains of the Council chooses to tell you, then I will abide by their decision and its consequences. Fine. There's little I can tell you. Master KotOR felt something had happened to you in the war, but all he had was suspicions, not truths. And KotOR was too close to you in any event. He, too, felt the call of war and took to battle more than a Jedi should. His speculations will not help you now, but enough of this. It is knowledge for the Council alone until they choose to reveal it. Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows between master and student. Are you saying you have bonded with another? Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. You are deluded to think it would be lethal. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion, even when you were a student here. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort, but a bond that ties two lives together. Such bonds do not seem natural to me. And with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a bond would be impossible. Perhaps it is done still. It is You've become strong again, but I know not how. This isn't over, exile.
You are the Jedi I've heard reports of, and I am Azkul, leader of the mercenaries on Dantooine. That is correct, and I want you to help me. According to my reports, I have 4 times as many soldiers as the militia, and I'm committed to taking Kunda. It is inevitable that I will succeed. If you wish to avoid my men eradicating the people of Dantooine, you will make it easier for me to take Kunda. Of course, I will pay well for your services. There are many ways someone with your abilities can aid us. Before the action begins, I have 2 main tasks in mind for you. Disable the gun turrets and the traps. Deal with the turrets however you see fit. Just keep them from pestering my men. Decide quickly. I have a slaughter to plan. Return to me when you are ready for us to begin our assault. I warn you not to keep me waiting.
Well maneuvered. With both the mercenaries and the militia counting on your aid, you can influence the outcome of the situation as you see fit.
I don't suppose you found any of those atmospheric sensors. That's great news. My offer still stands. I'll pay you 3,000 credits for all of them. It is worth more to us than that. I'll pay you 4,000 credits for the lot of them. Thanks for your help on this. Here are the credits, as promised. I'll get this to Zeron when I get back to Kunda.
Admiral, this is Mikal. I have found the exile. Welcome back. Is there anything else I can do for you? What else would you like to know? Someone has been taking holocrons from sites across the galaxy. It is almost as if someone does not want their knowledge used to find the Jedi. The situation on Dantooine is echoed in other places in the galaxy. Raiders, smugglers, all seek to plunder what remains of the Jedi. And even the Sith. More so than the Jedi themselves, I fear the loss of their history. Much has been forgotten in recent wars, and I fear that greater troubles shall stem from that loss of knowledge in the future. The destruction of the Academy on Ossus near the Kron Drift in the Sith War, the teachings of Master Arca, the adventures of Jolie Bindo on the Rimward missions. All of these things are in danger of being lost forever. What else would you like to know?
Just in time. Terena told me you've been searching for her friend. Well, I'm gonna have to ask you to put that on hold for now, as I've been telling Terena. We've just received solid proof that the mercenaries are planning to annihilate Kunda. We need your help.
Zeron says that even with a plan, the mercenaries have to gather their forces, then coordinate their assault. So we still have time. I'm afraid the militia has not been adequately trained for the task that befalls them. I have instructed the militia and other Kunda personnel that you are to be provided with anything that can be spared. Unfortunately, that isn't much. Right now, just us and the militia. I don't want to create a needless panic. But be assured I will make sure that all civilians are warned in time so they can get to safety. Though if we lose this battle, nowhere on Dantooine will be safe for settlers for long. I have instructed the militia and other Here is a MasterCard key that will open all of the security doors inside Kunda. Anything that might aid you in your task, please use. Soon, all the civilians will be evacuated. So if you have any business with them, I suggest you take care of it. Whenever you are ready to finalize the defenses, talk with Zeron. Do you require anything?
I was right about you. You are trouble. But you might just be the right sort of trouble we need. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans? I'll tell you what I tell all those grubby salvagers. No body, no claim. I'm no longer even looking at wills or credit notes, and if you think that's gruesome, then go space yourself. Let me see the will. I'll be glad to get rid of this claim and get those salvagers out of my headquarters. Let me see. He left his claim to you. How to even... You know, at this point, I don't even care. I'll have one of the militia get the claim for you. Here's your claim. I'll go let the salvagers know that it's been taken care of. Hopefully this is the last I hear of it. I was right about you, the mercenary. So you did. Here's the credits I told you about. Even with the caves cleared, I imagine it'll take some time before the Kinrath aren't on the plains. That was very helpful of you. You saved some lives today. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans? When you're ready, come back and we can talk about the final plan.
Zeron was right about the mercenaries all along. I guess my ego clouded my judgment as to what's best for Kunda.
Thanks, stranger. I should be back to duty in no time. Thanks, stranger. I should be back to duty in no time. I feel better.
I serve.
We've been told to provide you with anything you need. We have to keep the news of the mercenaries' plans quiet for now to avoid panic.
Charanana gundoso remine ke lorak tu.
Hey, get away from that door! The last time somebody messed with it, it was locked down for months before we could fix it.
Do you require anything soon?
I was right about you, the mercenary. You sure? Once Once we're done with that, there may not be any time left before the mercenaries attack. Alright, and we got a lot to do. I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed. It's not that the settlers aren't good people. Many folk just don't have the fighting mentality. Rather just make people happy and get along. But there isn't any getting along with Ascol. He's out for blood and taking the place over. So we gotta protect the administrator. Kunda can go on without me, but not without her. The administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us and Kunda's defenses. It isn't gonna be easy. I suspect we're gonna have to fight on the inside. They've got 3 entrances they're gonna try and break in. There's the front door, the security door on the side, and the garage door in back. We got 3 squads of militia. We can assign people to the front, back, or inside. Backside has to guard 2 entrances. The front will have to fight more people, and the inside will have to deal with any that break through. So, where do you think the first squad should be deployed? The battles that had the least dying were always led by Jedi. I'm gonna go with what you think. Where do you want the second squad? Alright, where do you want the third squad, the new recruits? Fine by me. The last question is, where do you want to go? Either the front or the back. I'll take whichever one you don't. That way both sides have leadership. That's what I was thinking too. The main group of mercenaries will be coming through there. Probably be good to put our best soldier there. Once the fighting starts, you gotta stay in your area. We both have to guard our half of the battlefield. Come over to me and the mercs will just charge straight into Kunda. Thanks to you, they're gonna have a tougher job. That's about it. And we just need to dig in and wait for the mercs to come. Well, I'll tell them what's there to do. I'm not much for words. Alright, I'll assemble the men. I hope you can speak good. I don't have the words. That was really something. I think any one of them would take a blaster bolt for you now. Let's get ready for the mercenaries. If we fall here, all of Dantooine falls with us.
Tell me what you see, soldier.
They're mobilizing the militia. Looks like a lot of activity down there.
They've been warned. It won't be of any use. The plan doesn't change. Captains, prepare your men. Their leader, Administrator Tarina, must not survive the battle. Everything else is secondary to that objective.
We've lost too many soldiers. Fall back inside.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand aside. Our quarrel is with a distinguished administrator. This isn't your problem. Is that supposed to convince me, Jedi? I was trained by the Sith. My unit killed many Jedi. I'll give you one last chance. Leave the administrator to her fate. She's inconvenient and doesn't know the chain of command. She will pay for that. You have no idea who you're talking to. I was going to spare your worthless life. I see I was in error. I was trained at Malak's academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another dead Jedi to me. Kill them all.
Thank you so much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us from this threat. I'm sorry to offend you. You are, of course, our savior, and I am very grateful to you. We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward will be sufficient. That is true, I suppose. I can offer a little more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve prosperity.
I should have stopped you long ago. Your machinations end here, outcast. No more words. Defend yourself or perish.
He is overconfident. Observe how he handles his lightsaber. He is using Atara, an aggressive form, best suited for single opponents. You can easily defeat him by encircling him with your companions, or by using blaster fire. Be wary of his power attack, however, as it is further enhanced using this form.
Are you arrogant enough to think you can divide your attention while fighting me? You think you can learn my technique just by watching me? It takes a Jedi Master years to perfect it. It's not possible. You must be stopped.
was some intense fighting. I'm glad we both made it through, and the mercenaries didn't.
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us... Recitation. Master. Statement. There is nothing you can do to me. Do your worst. Agonized exclamation. My photoreceptors! My photoreceptors! Statement. I shall up the charge of your circuits next time. Now, answer the question. Posturing statement. I will never talk. Statement. Then I will have to settle for your screams.
That is one sick boy.
Statement. My prisoner has revealed something of interest. Allow me to share it with you. Statement. The facility that is creating these cruder, unsophisticated versions of me is located on Telos. I propose we go there and turn it into a smoldering crater.
Iridonian, I would like to speak with you about your assistant.
My assistant? Oh, right. What is it?
I believe he has it in his head that my relative size is comical. I find his disparaging beeps and whistles to be quite annoying.
I thought only utility droids had size issues.
If I am to continue to operate with him, I would appreciate it if you spoke with him about this. Otherwise, I will be forced to find a more permanent solution.